Hello, everybody. Right now I'm fixing something. I wanted to make a Let's Play series for Minecraft, but it turns out I'll be moving back home to Minnesota. I'm living in Colorado right now. So instead, I had this idea of making a Hermitcraft forest. Basically, each tree in the forest represents one of the hermit hermits. Jeez, in the current season. And I'm fixing this up right now because every time I log out, you can probably guess whose tree this is. But I just figured I'd do this little simple video, kind of getting the concept of learning how to do video and record both the audio software, video software. I'm not too familiar. I'm not a very big computer guy, so yeah. My name is Josh Miss Prime, and yeah, this is my first video, so we'll see how it goes. It's my second time trying to record the audio for this. The first time somehow it got all stretched out, and I'm not sure what happened, but go through this one by one and try to explain my reasoning behind each of the hermit's trees in this video. I mean, all of them, they were all really fun to build. It was weird what was and what wasn't, what took the longest and what didn't, I guess I should say. But first off, we got the lagwood. Of course, this is Mumbo Jumbo's tree. He's known for his redstone, and this was the tree that gave me the idea for this whole concept to begin with. I had it in my head of just those flashing lights there. Oh, fell in the hole. But yeah, the flashing lights and everything. There's a little flying machine in there. It's just moving up and down a couple blocks. Every time I log out, it lags out, so or it breaks the machine. So that's what I was fixing at the beginning. If we come under here, there's a little boop and that'll lag out. That was my attempt to try to lag out my server. I could have done more, but I don't want to. All my redstone I do is just kind of spaghetti for whatever need I have. But that's the Mumbo Jumbo tree. You probably caught a glimpse there of that last one. I think right here in the video. I'm recording this after because I just not used to this. All my recording stuff is packed away. But next we have the Escallium tree. The beautiful, beautiful green. And of course, no Escallium is complete with what you probably saw there. A Bumbo. That's right. The Bumbo. This was a really fun one to build and it came together really quickly. Like the Mumbo tree took me a while because every time I do redstone it's just spaghetti, whatever I need, like I said. But the Scallium one was really fun to do. Just placing blocks and then that derpy face. But on to the next guy, we have the Evergreen. Now, Green and all the guys who are really known for there's his little face, but all the guys who are really known for their building, it was hard to build stuff for them because in my mind I'm just thinking they could do this way better than I could. But yeah, so there's buttons all over the place because Green loves to press the buttons. And up here, we have his secret identity from Season 6, the Poultryman. And of course I forgot to break the leaves that are in the way. I think I actually replaced them when I was trying to do the finishing touches on this tree. But yeah, so this serves as both green and Poultryman layer. And that's the Evergreen. So we got the Lagwood, the Escallium, the Evergreen. Come on, what am I doing here? Trying to follow myself, but it's kind of difficult. Next we got the Welsum Fir, like Balsam Fir. And with the naming of these, if I tried to do like actual tree names or puns or, just something that made sense. I don't know if I pulled it off exactly, but I don't know too much about Wells. But from what I've seen, he's really good at like castles, factories, kind of big buildings. So I tried to put a castle inside of a tree, complete with a moat, or not a moat, but a drawbridge. And as we circle around, yeah, you can see I had this idea for Ravagers and Skeletons to be like in the keeps, being guardians, sort of like the sentries of the castle. And then, yeah, when I logged back on and saw they weren't there, I was a little disappointed. So had to do that. There's a few. I think it's only him and Joe Hills that I actually have to go back and re-put in the mobs that were there that I. And it wasn't until I get to Vintage Beef's Tree that I realized I could have name tagged everything and been just fine. But oh well, you'll learn. But yeah, it's a castle inside a tree. It just seemed like Wells Knightian, if that makes any sense. And I hope if the hermits ever see these, they like them. I mean, it's done as kind of a tribute type deal, or like a celebrating Hermitcraft because everybody's awesome on there. So next we have the Impulsivity. And with this one, I tried to do Impulse's current base in Season 7. It was a little tricky, like with the wings coming out and everything, the circle around, but you saw there he's got the Impulse lowercase I. Probably should have said that when I was looking at it in the video, but yeah, the Impulse lowercase I with the dot, and then around here I was trying to replicate his ocean base he's got going on. Just not, I left out the pyramid part and just tried to do those wings he had, but I'm all ready to build. Next we have Hildrasil. This is based off of Yggdrasil, because Joe Hills kind of plays Minecraft in an odd way, and I don't mean odd like bad. It's just different than like how I play or how even other hermits play. He's always has a story going on, has a lot of mythological kind of builds, and so I tried to do that, and I thought of the World Tree, so I just tried to make kind of the same concept of Wells, but I tried to put different biomes into a tree. So we got a desert one there. And here, right now, I think I'm realizing my occupant is gone out of that little thing. And we got jungle with our parrots. See, I don't understand why the parrots didn't despawn, but the ocelots did. And you'll see, once again, I have to put it back in, give it the full experience. And this is also one of the first times of me using my creative world. I usually just come here to test like one thing and then jet out, so I'm not used to the menu. That's why if you ever see my inventory, it's always completely full because I don't know like the quick commands or anything for the creative side. But yeah, this is supposed to be the World Tree. My polar bear stayed in the ice biome, and then I got a little Badlands, or what's it called now? Mesa? Something like that. But yeah, that's Hildrasil. Next, we're on to the Eucalyptus. And Cubs was fun. I did a little bit more landscaping for his because he's got the pyramid thing going on, and that's snow on the ground there. And I'll try to explain that as we go along here. But I was trying to think of, Cubs know. I mean, he just grinds away to get whatever he needs. So I thought, what kind of plant just has to grind away to make do? And it's erupting from the pyramid because those of you that have been watching know Cub has had some incident with magic crystals bursting out of his pyramid. But so I thought of a cactus having survived in a desert, and then on top, with all the snow and everything, I thought of like conifer like the pines and spruces that are up in the tundra that have to survive the brutal harsh cold, and then cactuses that have to survive in the super dry climate. So that's where the whole idea for this cactus tundra tree came from. Next, I think I pause here for a bit, but this next part is kind of dark for Minecraft. I don't know. I mean, it gets a little darker around Halloween with a lot of the hermits, but this is Beef's Tree, and I just thought of a butcher shop, and then I found out he might have. I think he used to be a butcher or something. Maybe that's not true. Maybe I just read something. But this is the red beef ash, and the whole concept is like being in a butcher shop, basically. And I don't know if I overdid it or not. I mean, I was just kind of playing around, but yeah. So it's just a lot of different, reds and whatnot. And one thing I would think would be really cool in Minecraft, there's a couple mushrooms up here. I'm not sure what I'm trying to do right now. But one thing I think would be really cool. Oh, yeah. Before I do that, this is supposed to be like kind of the slaughter room setup thing. And then the little red stony bits and red all over is the blood and whatever. And then you got a cow cooking here. And this is when I realized that I could have name tagged all the mobs at Wells, mobs in Joe Hills. That's when I realized after I dinner boned that one. But yeah, I tried this redstone circuit. I did this twice and then logged out. And then this time when I went to record the screen, the whole thing, I try to figure it out. But yeah, this little circuit isn't working anymore. And it was. I probably put a piece of glass in the wrong spot or did something wrong. But you can see as I go around here, I get to the repeater with the dust. Maybe I'll see it on this playback here. Yeah, see, and the dust is blinking. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. But I like I said, I don't know redstone that well. So I think I stare at this for a bit. I try resetting. This is my like redstone knowledge. Like, oh, it's not working. Just press buttons and replace dust. But you can see in the dispenser, yeah, all those. That's what's supposed to be flying out of there. So it's supposed to be like just the whole thing's supposed to be kind of a meat shop thing. But my redstone didn't work. No biggie. What do you do? I think I'm still trying to figure it out here. Well, what I was saying though, one thing I think would be really cool is if you could dye leaves in Minecraft. Like not only for this build, but you'll see in Ethos build, I really was going for something, and I'll explain more when we get there. But to dye leaves, I think would be a really cool feature if they did it like terracotta, where it keeps the green but changes the color. So, but okay, this one's the B double oak, and this one was fun to do. One thing I noticed about B-Dubs, which, I mean, it kind of gets lost because he's such a good builder. And he uses color and everything just amazingly, but he's really good at monochromatics too. If you watch a lot of his builds with like the diorite, birch, white concrete, or quartz, or whatever he's using, he's really good at just black, white, and gray. So this one was kind of just a challenge to myself to try to have that monochromatic color palette and try to emulate his style, but mainly just is trying to do something with that. So like spider webs or leaves, a lot of gray, black, white, glass. And if we go up top, you'll see, yep, B-Dubs is saving the server, or saving everyone on the server by sleeping. So I added in the white and black beds as kind of like, I don't know, the fruit of the tree or bigger leaves. I'm not sure. But there you're kind of getting an overview of what a lot of this is, or how they kind of look together. And I zoom out a few times in this, and I try to do a fly around. But this is the one I was talking about, the Weeping Etho. This one, I really wish you could dye, since Minecraft doesn't want to do seasons, if you could dye leaves red and orange or just all sorts of colors, just you could have an autumn forest or a frozen forest. But I try, since Ethos Canadian, and he's been up to a lot of mischief on the server, I kind of thought, maple tree, and then that white stuff hanging all around it, there it is, that's the toilet paper roll. He's been kind of a mischievous guy this season, so I thought I just got the idea of TPing a tree, and I didn't really have much to go on besides that. And then I was like, yeah, I was watching one of his videos, and he's talking about something from Canada. I think he was talking about growing up, how under the harsh politeness of it all. But next we have the Wren Dog wood, and Wren, he always takes on multiple personalities every season. And my goal with this tree was to try to showcase like 4 different trees at once, or like 4 personalities in a tree. They kind of came. I realize now that they're kind of more emotions, but here we got the angry side of the tree. There's the surprise side of the tree. That's the happy side, and that's the sad side with a long little goatee. But yeah, I was just thinking, because Wren Dog, he's goofy, he's fun, he's really fun to watch. And I was just trying to incorporate his multiple personalities into one tree. There you saw that explosion. Here, we'll get to it. This is the goat wood. And of course, this is Doc M77's tree. Now, Doc, I know Mumbo's known for his redstone. I think that's what I'm looking at over there. It's Mumbo. And Doc's really good at it too. But Doc is really good at game mechanics. But he always kind of he utilizes things for like really goofy purposes, which I absolutely find hilarious. It's just he's fun to watch because like rather than just flying somewhere, he'll develop a machine that shoots a ender pearl like 128 blocks in the sky just because he knows how. So this whole tree was kind of a concept of what would a how would a mad scientist make a tree? You know, there's these little spindly bits coming out the top. It's supposed to be kind of like if they crossed, you know, a spider and tree DNA. Like the concept is the whole tree sprouted from that pod down there, and then the roots grew up and then back down into the ground, and then it lifted itself up. But yeah, inside there's a TNT duplicator, and I kind of wait here for a bit for the TNT to go off. But that was the whole concept behind this tree. Get rid of that. And yeah, it was this one was really fun. This was another one like Mumbo's, where like the idea came really quick to me. I think Mumbo's, Docs, and Cub fans were the the three that were like the quickest. And you can probably tell by the path we were heading to next. This is the Scarborough Tree. And Scar is just an absolute beast when it comes to landscaping. And again, another awesome builder. And I tried to, you know, kind of emulate with this path and everything. But it's hard to do what Scar does. So what I did is I took, you know, one of every bit of wood and then the stripped variant of that wood, and I made a tree out of it. Because that's all I could really think of. I was like, well, I can't really do what Scar does, so I'll just make sure I use every single wood there is and its stripped variant. So that's kind of what you're looking at right here. Did a little landscaping to try to fit it in, hidden lighting, little camping area. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a Scar build if there wasn't a big, giant hole for mobs to spawn. There's none spawning in here right now, but it's always kind of funny watching Scar because he makes these incredible builds, and then somewhere hidden in them, there's just this epic amount of monsters. Or maybe that's not the right way to say it, but yeah, there's some flowers on the hill off to the left, which I just kind of briefly looked at. There you can kind of see them, but it's a simple, kind of low-hanging, just thick tree. But all right, next we're on to this is the Hypnery. It's supposed to be like hickory, and I don't know much about hypno, but from for all the hermits I didn't know much about, I just kind of watched a few videos here and there, did some online stuff, and hypno just seemed like really practical. So the whole tree, yeah, there's a bed down there in the roots. The whole tree is made out of barrels, so like you could just store stuff in your tree. He's got his water outside here, a little bit of landscaping. On the side here, little movie theater around a campfire, which I like that. I kind of like the purple block as like, or rather, as kind of an inflatable couch. But here, the whole tree acts as an umbrella from this giant sun I made. Yeah, it's just supposed to be kind of a practical thing. Again, I hope all the hermits like their trees. It's just kind of a fun, goofy concept, and like even the ones I don't know, I just tried to make it work. But next we have the false Sycamore, and false, I mean, she's known for PvP and stuff, but she's really good at combining like futuristic and fantasy. So that's what I tried to go for with this tree. I think as I look up here, yeah, I tried to do that every other layer fog effect, but I don't have any mods or resource packs or anything, so like I said, I'm not very good with computers. So like downloading data, resource packs, mods, anything like that just kind of scares me. And yeah, those back things, I thought of a Stegosaurus because it kind of has the built-in defense. And when you watch false, like anything startles her, there's quickly something in her hand to fight with. It's really incredible to watch. But yeah, that was kind of the concept behind this guy. Next, we're on to the XBeCrafted wood. XBeCraft wood. You notice there's no tree down there. You probably saw it as we passed by. And I keep thinking more and more that I'm getting XBeCrafted and Hypno mixed up for some reason, but this is based off his Season 7 base, kind of this symmetrical floating thing in the sky landscape thing. But yeah, just I watched 2 videos, I think, and like I said, I really hope I'm not mixing him on Hypno up. I went over it like 5 times in my notebook. What's that? But yeah, I kept going over it, and I hope it came out alright. Next, we have the Fedaz. It's supposed to be ZF backwards. It's not exact, but the concept for this was ZF he kind of goofs around a lot and stuff, but so comes at you backwards and sideways with his videos. Like, you never kind of know what he's doing. And so I filled it with sheep because I was thinking of his game show sheep thing he did. How funny it was. I don't know if it's just the mood I was in. Here we've got the Z for Zed. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. So this is kind of just a fun, goofy, simple tree and coming out of a cliffside. But yeah, I just thought of that game show. I remember the first time I saw it, I was laughing so hard because it was just, I don't know if it was just, it must have been the mood I was in, or I don't know what it was, but it was just hilarious at the time. But, alright, next we are on to the Gorge. And of course this is Stress Monsters. Super colorful with the ice trickling down because she's the one and only Ice Queen. Yeah, this tree, I think this one and the next one you'll see were the two that took the longest, just placing in all these glass planes, trying to vary the color. Oops. Here's where I kind of panicked, didn't know what to do, so just fill that in. I'll come back and fix that later in the video, but really colorful, just really, really fun. Supposed to, yeah, just a colorful bunch of fun. Next we are on to the Ironwood, and this is Tango Tech, and this took me the longest out of all the trees, and it was the biggest headache, but it came out alright. So basically I tried to use all the pieces of iron that you can use in the game, and yeah, this tangled mess of iron bars up here took forever. Those hoppers are supposed to be like little fruit kind of thing, but yeah, all that in there. I trapped myself in there probably 5 to 10 times. I think just putting this whole top together, and I think it should be bigger just in scale wise, but yeah, that whole top part just randomly placing, right clicking, and then missing or being too far away. It was a nightmare, but it came out alright, I think. It was, I mean, the next, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I'm trying to find the sign. Yeah, I put it way over here. This is the Indigenous Tree, and I have to, you'll see me right here. Indigenous. I have to do that almost every time. So Jevin, he's had the last 2 seasons an underwater base, and so I tried to make his face in the tree itself, but and then the other thought I had was let's fill the whole tree with water. So inside of his face there's water, and then it's supposed to be based off of his base last season. It's supposed to be based off his base last. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, inside there's all water. There's more tree in there, some lighting. This was actually a really fun one too. I kind of like the idea of an aqua tree. Yeah, here's where I realized I can right click stuff. Like, I don't really use my creative world for much. I just come here, try out one thing I need, and then leave. So I don't know all the quick commands and whatnot. Let's see. Next we have the Shashwami. I apologize to Corrales in advance. I wasn't feeling too motivated for this one. I thought of the palm tree because I think he has palms on his beach city he's making. But I mean, this is just supposed to be a giant palm. It came out good, I think. I hope he likes it if he sees it. I don't know if any of the hermits will see it, to be honest, but yeah, little fun dangly fruits. And I apologize, I should have probably be sleeping more often so you guys can, yeah, right here is where I pull out the bed. But I think the reason that this one just didn't come out and there wasn't really a full thought as to what to do for Corrales, it was right after I got done with the next tree and I was just burnt out. And I'll explain why when we get there. Uh, but yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's just a really gigantic palm tree, but it came out all right. So next, I can't remember if we're going to, yeah, the Exhume wood. So yeah, I did Corrales after Exhume's tree, and I probably went through 8 different designs for this tree before I landed on this. I just used all the blocks that had X and then made the bark have an X in it. But I went through so many designs, and I just got in my own head. Zoom is my favorite, so, or Exayuma as Brian would say. But the sides for this, once I landed here, I was trying to replicate that star pattern from a season 6 base, and then it just didn't work out. So I kept messing with it and just decided to go with kind of that, and just fill it in with like a more organic looking thing. And then on the front, well, I think I'm trying to hide. Yeah, on the front, I just tried to add his face in there. I mean, that tree took me longer than any other tree, and it's one of the smallest ones, but you can't burn yourself out. I think that's a big thing. Let's see. Next, we're on to the Tree FC, and this is a beast of a tree. I already had a lot of this down. I was trying to make a redwood, and with stripped acacia, and instead I went with I just covered over that with the spruce logs there. There's some mushrooms growing out. The tree's got some wear and tear. TFC's kind of had a rough go of it, but he's back on, which is awesome. But I kind of had this idea of him as like the wise old owl. I mean, he takes like hermit to like the most literal level, especially last season with his underground bunker. But so that was the whole concept behind this tree. It was just this, giant tree for a hermit to just sit there, watch over, and be away from everything. Let's see. I think, yes, this is the last one. So next we have Tree Cleo. And she's awesome with her armor stance. She brings life into the world. And that was kind of the concept behind this. Like, with out of her hand comes magic and life, through the book and the armor stand. And she's really good at her organics. Her octopus in season 6 was amazing, and pirate ship. But so I tried to make, this tree into a hand, and inside it have all this life. And unfortunately, you'll see, I'll go back and put them in. I'm not a very good organic builder. You can kind of see it. I think I find an angle later. But as we come in here, yeah, there's flowers in there, and there's 3 beehives in there, but all my bees despawned. So, sorry about that. Yeah, so now I'm re-putting in bees. Because they're supposed to be just like bees teeming with life in there. Just like how she just, and plus her bug zoo made me think of the bees as well. And then there's supposed to be honey dripping out, but obviously since the bees despawned, it's not there anymore. But yeah, there you can kind of see the hand. Run into Tree of Sea. But, so yeah, this is my idea, is the Hermitcraft forest. And I hope if the hermits see it, they like them. It was really fun to do. I don't know if I really captured everything for each hermit. It's kind of pick and choosy. Like I only really know like a few of them. I kind of follow, and then I'll be gone or I'll stop watching for like a month, so I'll have a whole bunch of videos to catch up on. So, anyways, that's the Hermitcraft forest, and hope everybody likes it. I think I just kind of fly around here till the end. I apologize for the recording also, as I'm just kind of, I just packed up all my stuff, so yep, there we go. All right, I was Josh that was the Hermitcraft Forest. I'm Josh Prime, and